If you do go on to enjoy today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button and of course subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. And if you want to avoid the random lottery that is FIFA points, you can go straight to the source with u7buy.com, and of course you can use the code TVM at the checkout to get yourself a discount. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. It is very difficult to review defenders, but I'm going to try my best. Chris Smalling's headliner card. This is a pretty sexy card, if I do say so myself. 6'4", high defensive work rate, 3-star weak foot, which is all right actually for a centre back. He is likely to go up as well, regardless of informs or what Roma do in the next couple of days, because he's likely to get a January refresh or winter upgrade or whatever you want to call it. So his base card of 80 will probably go to 81, maybe 82 at a push. Either way, even if he does go up by 1, his inform goes to 84, and as the headliner has to stay 1 inform higher, it means that this will go to an 86, because 1 inform higher than an 84 is an 86. You never go from 84 to 85, it jumps by 2, until you get to 86, and then it just goes up by 1. So he will be an 86 rated player, if and when he gets a January upgrade. Now, he probably will get a January upgrade. I'm erring on the side of like 90 to 95% likelihood, because he's played very well this season. Obviously, they've given him a headliner. He already has 1 inform. He should have 2 informs by now. So this will go to an 86 bare minimum. If Roma can win 4 in a row, 87. If he can get himself another inform, 88. By the end of the year, this could be an 88, 89 rated card. That is fantastic. Let's have a look at the stats then. Instantly, the acceleration to sprint speed differential is massive. It is huge. Is it going to be a problem? I don't think so personally. The chem style I'm going to give him will improve the acceleration slightly. Nothing too crazy, but just slightly. We'll take it above 70. The sprint speed does get a boost as well. I think it's alright. I don't think there's going to be a problem. If you are the type of person to play a high line, with the catch-up that's in FIFA, like, for instance, you're through on goal with Mbappe, and you've got Joe Gomez at the back, chances are you're going to catch Mbappe because the game is broken, right? So if you've got someone like Chris Smalling with 70 plus acceleration, high 80 sprint speed, which we will have with the chem style we're going to choose, you should be fine. The team I'm using is poor, but we should be alright. We've got some nice players in there. Timo Werner up top. Cuadrado is going to be a good player to use. We've got Allen, who is fantastic, and of course Salah, even though he is out of position. Now, in terms of the chem style, a lot of people will just whack a shadow on him to up the acceleration, and you are well within your rights to do that, but you don't get the physical boosts that you do with an anchor. Plus, I have 17 anchors and I don't have a shadow. But that wouldn't have, honestly, that would not have changed my mind. I am more than happy to stick an anchor on Chris Smalling and have that physical boost as opposed to the double pace boost. So with that pace boost that we get in the acceleration, he goes up to 72. Of course, you'd get 10 with a shadow, takes him to 77. Is that going to be more beneficial to you than having more aggression, more strength, more jumping? I'm not sure it will. The jumping's irrelevant, but the strength and the aggression boost is going to be massive. And then, of course, we get 10 on slide tackle, stand tackle, defensive awareness. We would get 10 on heading, but it doesn't need it, so it goes up by 9. And interceptions are up by 5. That takes it to 90. That makes him a 93 rated centre-back without any upgrades. And of course, this is a dynamic card and could go up by as little as 1, but as many as, well, 4. Overall, it depends on how good his season goes, really. But that is a pretty impressive card, considering all this is around 30 to 35,000 coins. If you have the inform, 20k. And for that card is immense. Now, I do have a pretty decent Serie A side, but I wanted to use Timo Werner, and I kind of had to then work in Joe Gomez so I could get some strong links up the left, so I could basically use him up the middle. I wouldn't necessarily recommend using this team if you are serious about winning a game, but we're going to see. I mean, in a way, I kind of wanted not a poor team, but not as good a team as I could build from this account, because that means we're going to have a lot more work to do with Smalling, so we're going to get to see in a concentrated space how good he actually is. Not sure of the connection on this one. Oh, dear God. He has a good team. It's a weird one, though. I mean, you got, 2 Team of the Year cards in there. Standard Kyle Walker, Gabarmin, and Zaha. Okay. I Well, already my opponent's in. Gomez deals with that. I've only got the standard Gomez on this account. I do have the UCL one on my road to glory, but of course we're not on that today, so we can't take advantage of it. Chris Smalling up against Mane, early doors. He's gone around the outside. He's going to play it through the middle. I'm still tracking with Chris Smalling. I've let the gap go. I mean, he could score here, couldn't he? Let's be honest. Yeah, well, I mean, he's offside. Maybe my fault for tracking with Smalling. I don't know. Gomez seemed to be a bit out of position. He probably should have tracked the runner around the outside, but we got away with it, so I'm not going to complain too much. Poor start to proceedings defensively, as far as I'm concerned. That is a brilliant move. Right-footed from Salah, and we are 1-0 up against this Team of the Year team. We are under sustained pressure, though. You'd expect it, really, from this team with as many Team of the Year cards as he has, etc. Here's Smalling again up against Mane, who's gone past him. He's recovering well. I tell you what, there he is with a foot in. He's quick enough. He's quick enough on the jockey, is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't say like quick enough against Mane when we're running both at toward goal against each other. But, hello, what's going on here, then? Why has he not been... Oh, dear. I mean, it was a foul, but it kept giving me the advantage. I couldn't turn. But Smalling on the jockey, quick enough to keep up with Mane's dribbling, which is nice to see. He's gone round the outside of me here. This is a Mendy error. Gomez, and there's Smalling, who pokes it to Gomez. We give it to Deme, who can lift that out to Henderson. Deme back to Mane. Poor ball to Werner, and we're going to have to deal with that ball coming back at us again. I tell you what, Deme of Leipzig has done... Oh dear, that is so bad from Cuadrado. We'll come back to that in a second. Smalling moved over to cover the space. He went for goal. Pickford made a save. Deme has done so well considering he's not exactly a great card, is he? He's literally in there to give Werner full chem, and that's the only reason I chose him. Last roll of the dice for my opponent in the first half, maybe. Deme holds him up. Joe Gomez has come out of position. Cuadrado is there, and that's half-time. What a first half of football that is. I mean, my opponent has been not all over me, but he's had his fair share. The defence has held strong. Mane instantly running at the defence from kickoff. This is the problem, isn't it? Kickoff. Hate kickoff. I've pulled Smalling out. Smalling comes back, and it's a goal near post. That's a kickoff goal. It's my own fault. I pulled Smalling out to try and cover the space rather than trying to attack the ball. And we've conceded. You should really be super cautious and not trying to... You just block the ball from kickoff, because it is what it is, right? Any shot from kickoff will go in, and we've conceded, unfortunately. It is my fault. I'm not going to blame Smalling for it. Werner to Salah. Di Maria, Salah, goal, and that's kickoff, and you should block the shot. Here's Kante. Joe Gomez has been done by Mane. Smalling came across, and Joe Gomez's fault, really. Not he hasn't even got a chem style on Mane. Joe Gomez's fault instead of Smalling that time. Smalling tried to recover, couldn't, and we are through here with Angel Di Maria. Oh, well, I mean, why doesn't this game listen to me? Here we go, then we're going to have to deal with a run. He's going to play that back inside in my guess. There it is, and Joe Gomez is there. Smalling covered the space as well. There's Smalling. Maybe... Oh, Smalling's given away a penalty. Jesus wept. This game is against me today, it really is. Wow, what a save from Jordan Pickford. Well. I say against me. I'm not blaming the game and having a moan. It's one of those, football's like that. It's just one of those where nothing seems to go your way, We are holding our own against a guy with at least 2 Team of the Years. He's made a couple of subs since. Smalling in there with pace, and he does deal with Mbappe. There we go. I mean, he lunged at nothing. It could arguably have been a foul, but either way, he's come away with it. And now all of a sudden, Chris Smalling against Mbappe. Gomez with the run to stop the cross. Chris Smalling across, and that's a great challenge. Gets the ball from Mbappe, puts him on the floor, and that was a crucial challenge right at the end of the game. That is by far the most important tackle he has made for me so far. To be fair, he hasn't played badly, but what you've seen of him has been quite minimal. Joe Gomez played better than him, in my opinion. That was a great challenge at the end. He gave away a penalty. Luckily, Pickford saved it. But mixed bag of a performance, but nothing terrible. The penalty, I let him off. You know, wasn't really his fault. So as you can see, I played a few more games, and to be honest, I found him to be decent. I wouldn't say that he's amazing, and the problem is I'm using better defenders than Smalling, right? So, for instance, I have an 85 UCL Joe Gomez. We all know Joe Gomez is a little bit overpowered anyway. I was using the standard Joe Gomez next to Smalling, and okay, I did feel a difference. He's not as good as the 85, of course he's not, but he's still a good player. And the fact that him and the 85 Smalling are even comparable, there's 5 overall difference between the two, so that's how overpowered Joe Gomez is. But with that being said, I'm also using the likes of Ramos, you know, his UCL card, the 90 rated team of the group stage. I've got Nesta's Icon and a few others dotted around the place as well on my Road to Glory, which is the account I use the most. And obviously I'm used to using those, so to compare Smalling to those cards is a little bit unfair. Right now, he's a very good centre-back, but he's not amazing. Given time and the fact that he's dynamic, who knows what could happen. I mean, right at the end of the game, he could still be 85 for all we know. However, for 35,000 coins, it's definitely worth the risk. And I don't think it's a bad card to have in terms of a first owner. So if you need to do a English objective or you need to do a Serie A objective, you've got a really good centre-back that you can use in those with Smalling. But like I said, it's not a bad card. He didn't do anything that I would necessarily blame him for specifically. You know, like moving him out of position is my fault. The penalty in the first game. In fact, I may have only shown you one game because there was a lot that went on in that game. The penalty that he gave away, luckily Pickford did save it, I believe. But I think that was more my fault really than his. You know, it wasn't like he was out of position due to just the positioning of the card. It was my fault that I moved him and that I was spamming B in the wrong place and so on and so forth. But I mean, all in all, I think for 30 to 35,000 coins, you can't really go wrong with this card. I wouldn't necessarily say sell stuff to get it done. It's not that important. But when you've got dynamic cards that are relatively cheap as an SBC, in my opinion, it's definitely worth the punt because you never know. If further along down the line, this card gets upgraded to 86, 87, maybe even 88, possibly even further, you will then kick yourself that you didn't spend the 30,000 coins to get him. It's different with the likes of Adama Traore because that guy is expensive. So if you are spending hundreds of thousands of coins on an SBC because you don't want you don't want to have that fear of missing out, then that's a little bit silly. But for 30, 35k, yeah, definitely worth a punt in my opinion. Let me know what you think of Chris Smalling down in the comments section, and whether you've completed it or not. If you have enjoyed this video, do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index, the game changed. Download the app now.